Hey Dev Nation, my name is Ryan. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today I'm going to share with you guys how I gain access to $7,500 like that, as well as having the opportunity to get paid $500 for having access to that $7,500. So I'm going to go ahead and break down pretty much how that worked and how I did it, as well as how you can go ahead and take advantage of those opportunities as well. Please make sure to follow if you want to learn more about financial development, as well as, of course, adulting and transitioning from being a dependent into going into your independence sort of stage. Adulting is hard, life is tough, so I'm here to go ahead and try and help you guys pretty much transition into that adulthood. Also, please make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. If you learn or gain some sort of value from today's video, it just lets me know that you guys enjoy these types of videos. So let's go ahead and get started. So what is a credit card? For anybody who doesn't know what a credit card is, it's just a plastic little card that allows me to go ahead and pay other people with other people's money. This is pretty much a form of debt from other bank institutions. So again, because I have this card, I can go ahead and pay off other items and pay for other goods with some other institutions' money. And more specifically with credit cards, I did credit card churning. So what exactly is credit card churning? Well, pretty much you go ahead, you can Google it, you can just Bing it, or whatever you like to use, whatever search engine, and you go ahead and compare different credit card promotions and things like that that are going on currently. Go ahead and pretty much pick the best one that's optimal for you. So if you want to go ahead and get credit cards that are going to give you the best benefits for, let's say, travel, you're going to get 30,000 points on travel, or 50,000 points on food. If maybe your category is you want to go ahead and save money on food, then that would be the sort of promotions you would go ahead and look for and compare the cards. In my case, I decided to actually go ahead and do cashback rewards card. That way I can go ahead and take out the different credit cards and get paid for doing so. By the way, not only did I get access to $7,500, I also got paid an additional $500 for doing so. So what I pretty much did was I went online, went ahead and looked at different promotions for specifically for cashback rewards credit cards and compared the different cards. From there, I picked the ones that I thought had the best promotions. Now, why might you want to go ahead and use this for yourself? Well, personally, I'm a college student, so I have to go ahead and pay for textbooks. I have to go ahead and pay, for semesters. If you're a college student or you ever been in college, college can be pretty expensive. Textbooks, school supplies, getting to the university, the actual university itself, tuition and all the other additional fees that they tack on just because, you're a member of the university and you decide to breathe on campus, they start to charge you for that too. Well, with credit cards, I found it actually really helps with sort of minimizing some of the costs. Taking a look back to the credit card churning, with cashback rewards, it can help reduce directly the costs of your tuition when you go ahead and decide to use these credit cards in the method of credit card churning. Now, I do caution the way you go ahead and use credit cards. Of course, credit cards aren't for everyone. If you never really used a credit card before and you're not used to building up this habit of not spending more than what you have, then I wouldn't recommend it. Personally, I made sure to wait and build up my habits before I went ahead and just started getting as many credit cards as possible and started doing this credit card churning. I made sure that my habits were intact and that my habits were good and my money habits were well taken care of. And so the added benefit with this too is you can also look for cashback rewards credit cards that also have a 0% interest for like an X amount of months. This is usually going to be an introductory period. So this is just an added promo on top of the cashback rewards credit cards that you would normally apply for anyways. Now, sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's 6 months. Usually with a good promo, you can find them anywhere between 12 to about 18 months. Usually on average, it's going to be 12 to 15 months. But you can find some even as long as 18 months. Of course, if you're paying for school can be anywhere from 10, 20, 30, $40,000. These credit cards with the 0% interest can help buy you some additional time to go ahead and pay that off monthly or weekly or however you want to go ahead and do it. And it just kind of gives you an added little benefit of maybe you can get some extra textbooks and things like that. And you don't necessarily have to do directly the payment plan that the college gives you, depending on how much tuition you have left over to pay. Now, granted, I do have some scholarships as well that takes care about half of the tuition, so I do have to cover the other half. So it's like under 10 grand where I have to go ahead and pretty much pay the college to go to school for usually around the year. It's about 10 grand. So I went ahead and applied for the Discover It Cashback Rewards credit card. With this Discover card, it gives you up to $150 cash back, and they'll actually go ahead and match you at that. So you have an opportunity to go ahead and make $300 within that first year just from the cashback rewards. And not to mention, with this cashback rewards, you also get an added 14 months of 0% interest. So what does that exactly mean? Well, you know how usually with credit cards, it has a high interest. People usually tell you don't get credit cards because of this high interest. Well, because it's an introductory promotion, what they're saying is, hey, we're going to give you this access to our credit card where you can use our money, again, the institution's money, use that debt and go ahead and pay for things without having to pay any interest or any additional money on the principal or the original amount of money that you ended up using. So you pay 0% interest on that actual initial money. So if you go ahead and decide to spend $1,000, after 14 months, they won't charge you over more than $1,000 because you have zero interest on that initial principal or that initial money that you spent. Then for the second credit card, I ended up getting the Bank of America Cash Rewards card, which gave me access to $200 of cashback rewards once I spent $1,000 within, I believe it's the first 3 months of having the credit card. And because I'm going to be spending some money on summer tuition, I know I'm going to meet this $1,000 requirement. So right there, let's say my tuition's around $1,000 to $2,000. I just lowered my tuition by $200 exactly because of this cashback rewards credit card. So at this point, you should be able to see how overall these cashback rewards churning, credit card churning really does help in the long term because it helps save $200 plus another $300. That's $500 in total. That helps discount on your tuition or textbooks. So just $500 compared to the $10, $20, $30, $40,000 might not sound like a lot, but it definitely helps over time. And remember, you can still do this. I personally only try to do it about once a year or every 6 months or so, depending on where I'm at. And I also forgot to mention, so with the Discover It card, because I had a higher credit score, it was over 750, they allowed me access to $4,000 on the Discover It credit card. And then the Bank of America Cash Rewards card, they allowed me a credit limit of $3,500. So that allowed me credit limit access to $7,500. So that means I can go ahead and use those $7,500 for about the next 14 to 15 months without having to pay any interest on that money whatsoever. So in other words, I can use the $7,500 on those two credit cards, max them out, and not have to worry about paying any additional interest or any additional money on that money that I'm borrowing for 14 months and then 15 months respectively, of course, on the credit cards. So I don't have to worry about that money for a little over a year, which allows me time to go ahead and work and pay off that money over time. So personally, I've used this sort of method of credit card churning to pay off for school about the last 2 to 3 years. I didn't, like I said, I didn't use it my first year just because I was still building up the habit. 18, I was just starting to do college. But once I realized, oh, my money habits are good, and once I realized credit card churning was a thing, I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Let me go ahead and use it. But make sure that you don't go ahead and overextend yourself, right? You do want to go ahead and have some sort of money saved up. Don't go ahead and just max out on credit cards and then you can't pay it back. Like personally, I know I can go ahead and pay down the amount of money if I were to even max it out, which I know I wouldn't really have to anyways. But it's just easy access, so in case something happens, I can go ahead and use the credit cards and not really have to worry about it till about a year out. And even then, I know I can go ahead and take care of that money if I ever were to have to, God forbid, use that amount of money. Again, I can't stress this enough. Don't overextend yourself on the amount of money you use. If you get a credit card limit of $1,000 and you only make $100, per week or something like that comfortably, don't go ahead and spend $1,000 and just make sure you keep it at around 100, 200 where you can easily pay it off sort of thing. And don't feel discouraged either if you're new to credit cards and maybe you haven't gotten a credit card or you only have one credit card and you only have a couple $100s on it. That's totally fine. That's actually really good. My first credit card was the Discover Secure credit card, which is pretty much where you go ahead and you pay like $200 to Discover. They hold that as sort of leverage, pretty much saying, hey, if you don't pay us, we're going to keep this $200. But I went ahead and paid it. Got a credit card. I was able to build up some credit and build up the credit habits. And then they actually paid me back with the $200, refunding me pretty much the money that I gave, pretty much because they saw, oh, wow, you're responsible with your money and you know how to go ahead and pay off your credit card on time. And on top of that, they also increased my credit limit from $500 to about $1,500. So pretty much they increased how much I could borrow on that credit card that they gave me. So this is just a neat little method that I've been using for a couple of years now to help pay for school. Hopefully this brought some value to you guys and you guys enjoyed it, and maybe this can help you guys with some sort of college expenses or some other large expense you may have in life. Again, please do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. It's just for entertainment and education purposes only. And I also just wanted to sort of share my experience with you guys on how I've been able to actually get paid to go ahead and pay for college tuition as well. Just I thought it was a cool little neat thing to be able to go ahead and work out, like a little life hack, if you will, on being able to go ahead and discount your college tuition or other large expenses in life. I hope you guys gained value out of today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.